Sweeping across the headlines is a terrifying terrorist attack in Brussels, Belgium, where two Swedish nationals tragically lost their lives. The suspected culprit was shot by police in a local cafe, with the same weapon used in the attack recovered from the scene. Motives remain unclear, but officials suggest potential nationality-targeted violence. The attack occurred during a Belgium-Sweden soccer match, triggering a citywide alert and forcing the suspension of the game. This incident, following a stabbing at a French high school, raises concerns of escalating political violence across Europe. The suspect has claimed responsibility for the attack, citing the Islamic State as inspiration in a social media video. Solidarity is expressed by Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo, who condemns this act of cowardice and stands united with Sweden. Belgium's Foreign Minister, Hajj al-Labib, advocates for concerted efforts to combat radicalism. This attack echoes back to the 2016 Brussels attack, where 6 men were found guilty of killing 32 people and injuring hundreds. Well, good day, listeners. I'm Emily, your trusted source for the most pressing news stories from around the globe, right here on Hot Topic. I've got over 20 years in journalism, and let me tell you, I've seen it all, from war zones to political summits. Joining me today, as always, is the insightful David, all the way from San Francisco, with his wealth of experience as a political analyst. David, always a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, Emily. It's great to be here.
Now, if you're enjoying our daily news updates, don't forget to hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave your comments. Sharing our podcast with your friends and family really does help us to keep delivering the news you need to know. Today's headline story, folks, is quite a chilling one, a terrorist attack in Brussels that's left us all on edge. You won't believe the details we're about to disclose, so make sure to stay tuned. We're digging into why this is more than just another news story. It's global, it's political, and it hits close to home for many of us. Remember, we're here to help you peel back the layers on these complex issues. So, as always, it's hot off the press. Continuing with our top story, this terrifying incident in Brussels has clearly shaken the city and beyond. After a brutal attack claimed the lives of 2 Swedish citizens, law enforcement managed to take down the suspected assailant in a cafe. The same weapon used in the attack was found at the scene, solidifying the link between the suspect and the crime. The motive is still under investigation, but there's a suggestion that the victims were targeted due to their nationality. Just this summer, Sweden had to raise its terror alert level following public desecrations of the Quran and subsequent threats and demonstrations. This incident, following the stabbing at a French high school, is deepening fears of a political violence surge across Europe. The federal prosecutor's office has urged residents to stay indoors as long as the threat hasn't been eliminated. The suspect, who claimed responsibility for the attack, cited the Islamic State as his inspiration in a video posted on social media. In response to the violence, the Belgian and Swedish soccer teams decided to abandon their ongoing match, and authorities assisted in evacuating the stadium. Belgium's Prime Minister Alexander De Croo labeled the attack as cowardly and expressed his condolences to the families of the victims. He also emphasized the joint fight against terrorism with Sweden. Belgium's Foreign Minister, Hajj al-Labib, expressed her horror at the attack and called for the mobilizing of all necessary means to fight radicalism. This disturbing incident brings back memories of the 2016 Brussels attack, where 6 individuals were found guilty of an attack that resulted in 32 fatalities and hundreds of injuries. What's your take on this latest incident?
It's truly heartbreaking to hear about such incidents. I think it's a grim reminder of the never-ending battle against radicalism and the importance of international cooperation in this fight. The response from Swedish and Belgian officials, as well as from UEFA, is commendable and shows the unity required in handling such situations. I believe we all have a role to play in combating terrorism and promoting peace. It certainly reinforces our shared responsibility to stay informed and vigilant.
New information has been shared regarding the perpetrator of the Brussels attack. He was shot by police in Schaerbeek, a region northeast of the capital, and is now in intensive care. His identity has yet to be confirmed. The deadly assault on the two Swedish individuals occurred during the Euro 2024 qualifier soccer game between Belgium and Sweden at the King Baudouin Stadium, which is just 3 miles from downtown Brussels. This led to the game being abandoned at halftime. In a social media video, the alleged gunman claimed to be inspired by the Islamic State. He indicated that the Swedish nationality of the victims was a probable motivation for his actions. Officials have stated that there are currently no indications of a link with the Israeli-Palestinian situation. In response to the attack and the suspect's claim, urgent security measures have been implemented to protect Swedish fans as much as possible. This tragic event follows a series of Quran-burning protests in Sweden and Denmark which have led to angry demonstrations in Muslim-majority countries, raising security concerns and triggering a debate on whether the Scandinavian nations need to review their liberal laws on freedom of speech. In response to the attack, Belgium has raised the terror threat level for Brussels to the highest level of 4. The French Interior Ministry has also strengthened checks at the Franco-Belgian border. What's your perspective on these recent developments?
It's a complex and alarming situation. The Belgian authorities' response in raising the terror threat level and the French authorities' decision to strengthen border checks are practical steps. However, this incident also highlights the broader issues at play, from freedom of speech to the influence of social media in spreading extremist ideologies. It's a stark reminder that addressing the root causes of such violence requires a concerted international effort.
The country's leaders are actively coordinating their response. Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo has expressed his deepest condolences to the victims' families and has asked the people of Brussels to remain vigilant. There is also a call from Belgium's Crisis Center for respect towards the victims, asking people not to share images or videos of the incident. This is not just about preserving the dignity of those affected, but also about preventing the spread of fear and panic.
That's so important. In the midst of such horrifying incidents, it's crucial to remember the impact of the information we share. It's a time for unity, respect, and resolve, not for spreading panic or fear. It's also a time to revisit our strategies and measures to prevent such attacks in future, as the fight against terrorism and radicalism continues.
Thank you all for tuning into Hot Topic, where we break down the hottest news stories of the day. Your company on this journey makes it that much more meaningful. We urge you to engage with us, subscribe, and activate notifications not to miss any of our episodes. And remember, sharing is caring. Let your friends and family know about us. Your feedback in the comments section is always appreciated.
Indeed. And a note on timing, we're here every day, so make us part of your daily routine. And guess what? We have some intriguing discussions lined up for you. But no spoilers here, you will just have to tune in to find out.
We really can't wait for the next episode. Once again, thank you for being a part of Hot Topic.
Absolutely. Until next time, remember. Smith, stay in the loop, keep your eyes on the news, our channel's content will amuse.